Welcome to the Success Face YouTube channel. In this video, we will be discussing comebacks at work, featuring insights from Kathleen Kelley Reardon and Christopher T. Noblet. Whether you are returning to the workforce after a break or looking to bounce back from a setback, this video will provide valuable insights and strategies for navigating the challenges of a comeback. So join us as we explore the topic of comebacks at work and learn how to overcome obstacles and succeed in your career. Your input matters. We would love to hear your thoughts on the video. Please leave a comment with your opinion. At least 75% of how other people view you are under your control. People will stomp all over you if you let insults pass on a regular basis. Choose the appropriate response for each circumstance. Prepare by memorizing and practicing various comebacks if you are aware that you will freeze when challenged. Social rejection is more likely for those with a rare variant of the mu opioid receptor gene, OPRM1, which is linked to pain sensitivity. Before you respond, pay attention to what others say and observe how they say it. You don't have to respond every time. Sometimes, the best response is silence. Keep in mind the R list responses: reframe, rephrase, rejoin, revisit, restate, rebalance, reorganize, and reprimand, respectively. It's personal when someone threatens your career, so make a memorable comeback. However, don't get involved in a fight that will jeopardize your long-term objectives, no matter how you are provoked. How well do you know how to get back up? Consider how you could answer these sorts of individuals. The spoiler for a contention: to baffle the people who need to show their predominance, grade to concur with them. I understand what you mean. I hadn't considered it that way. You can also respond sarcastically or use their comments against them. The Critic, in 1999, a reporter for the New York Times, referred to Norman Rockwell, an American painter, as a mere illustrator instead of an artist. Rockwell transformed the insult into praise. He responded, "To us, illustration was an ennobling profession. With a great tradition, a profession I could be proud of, and unexpectedly found merit in the criticism." A great way to diffuse an insult is to see it as something positive. Ted Turner, the founder of CNN, was once the owner of the Atlanta Braves baseball team. He admits in his memoir that he ran the team poorly. The owner of the Atlanta Falcons football team, Rankin Smith, asked Turner, "What does it feel like to lose 100 games in one season? After one awful season?" According to Turner, "Well, I don't look at it that way. The way I see it, we won 62 games, and that's more than the Falcons have won in the last 10 years." Turner did not fight, he made things right. To keep away from a battle, note that everybody engaged with a mix-up can have a hand in the responsibility, yet that the task is best served by fixing the issue and not by finding fault. The puppeteer: these people block the way and try to control other people. Respond by delegating the entire problem to them. Compel them to dismantle the barriers they've built. One worker refused to be coerced into taking on more work. He told a critical coworker who had noticed what he thought was a problem that because he understood it, he could have the authority to fix the problem. The critic's objections vanished somehow after the employee listed the steps needed to finish the job. The complainer: make the case that complainers employ thought-stopping. In an effort to help his congregation break the habit of complaining, a preacher once suggested that they wear bracelets. People had to move their bracelets from one arm to the other whenever they complained. Their awareness was raised as a result. Propose this strategy to a grumbler, or suggest essentially supplanting each regrettable idea with a positive one. "I only allow myself to complain for 5 minutes each day and my time is up," is a great response. Additionally, "Can't complain today. Yesterday, I did it, and it didn't help." The "it isn't possible" type: stay away from these individuals. For instance, hang up and redial if a customer service representative answers your call in an unhelpful way. Discuss your problem with another person. Chris Argyris, a professor at Harvard, writes in his article, "Good Communication That Blocks Learning," that people develop master programs early in life that they frequently use in difficult situations. Unfortunately, these learned responses frequently fail. If you encounter any of these challenges, it's time to make a shift. Communication ruts: a dissatisfied candidate for CEO of a major company believed that employees were preventing his promotion due to their disapproval of his dominant management style. When he disagreed with them, he asked them to help him comprehend their issues rather than pushing his agenda. Workers began to appreciate his interest in their thoughts and ideas after a few weeks of his deliberate effort to break out of a communication rut. Following a while, he became president. People can fall into dysfunctional patterns known as unwanted repetitive episodes. Be unpredictable. People who respond consistently in the same manner are sitting ducks. If you're offended by someone, let them know, or they'll do it again. Unwillingly disclosing personal information, your coworkers may lose respect for you if you disclose too much personal information. Smile and respond. I'm not sure I know you well enough to answer that kind of personal question, if they inquire about your age or salary. Or, state that if you respond to them, you can also ask a personal question. Alternately, you could change the subject by stating, someone needs to change the direction of this conversation, and it clearly is not going to be you. Therefore, just allow me to redirect us. Jumping to judgment, slowly respond. Watch for a while before making a comeback. Say something like, I typically respond defensively to comments like that even if no offense was intended, to buy some time. Please allow me a moment. Request that the individual reconsider. Is your rage directed at me or just rage? Is there currently tension between us, or is that just me? Beating rebound cerebrum freeze. Assuming you freeze up in testing circumstances, just sit back and relax, you can change. Examine the reason for your hesitation first. Have you had a bad experience in the past with similar circumstances? Did your family practice quick comebacks as a child? It's possible that your frustration is innate to you. UCLA psychologists discovered that social pain sensitivity is also influenced by a gene linked to physical pain sensitivity. You are probably susceptible to social rejection if you have a rare variant of the mu-opioid receptor gene, OPRM1, which typically causes physical discomfort. It can be as vivid and painful to just think back on an uncomfortable social event as it was when it first happened. A rejection may immediately bring back previous exclusions. If you're very analytical, you might also get what's called a comeback brain freeze, in which your efforts to gather and analyze information slow down your ability to respond quickly. Select a relevant comeback using the comeback R list. Make use of these rich, ripe R techniques to craft effective responses. Reframe, take a new look at things. This is just a disagreement, not a fight. Rephrase, provide better language. Rejoin, arm criminals by agreeing to, for me, whatever sways your wheels works. Revisit, recall a previous achievement and propose using it as a model. Restate, request the speaker to reiterate or clarify the intended message in the form you perceive it. Request, to alter a speaker's flow, ask a question. Change the balance of power. It turns out that I won't need your assistance with this. Reorganize, restart the discussion in a more favorable setting. Slice to an alternate issue. Rebuke means to discredit the offender, perhaps by pointing out that a joke was not successful. Attack. Retaliate. If you get back at them with a clever comeback when someone attacks you, they won't bother attacking you again. In fact, being able to decide what to say when cornered, humiliated, frustrated, attacked, complimented, or on the spot requires both logic and emotion, a gut feeling that what you're about to say or do fits the situation at hand, says the article. If an insulter threatens your credibility, threatens to insult you again if you don't stop them, intentionally insults you, has insulted you or other colleagues before, or makes a statement that is clearly unacceptable, use comebacks that make people think. Notwithstanding, don't get maneuvered into an obnoxious circumstance or a superfluous clash that will just sabotage your objectives. Finding your rebound safe place. Save your most grounded answers for countering the most grounded incitement started by another person, and, surprisingly, then, at that point, act decisively such that serves your drawn-out targets. You don't have to use comebacks just because you know how to make them. Also, you can. Let it pass demonstrates that you do not believe the negative comment calls for a response by remaining silent and casting a puzzled glance. Quiet eye-to-eye connection, investigate the just a tad longer than conventional. Give them a chance to do the right thing, check to see if you understood and ask the person to rephrase the slur. Set them straight for their own benefit. Let me explain why you might reconsider for your own good. Consider yourself told. You could leave a conflicted situation by saying, consider yourself told that you are a bully. You'll wish you were never born. Glare at the speaker, pivot, and then walk away, or make a clever comment that makes the person being insulted feel bad about treating you so badly. Assuming we regularly let affronts pass that ought to be tended to, we are let others know that they can trample us without risk of punishment. Maintain your familiarity zone. The gut check, your gut instinct, Observation of nonverbal cues and memories of previous interactions are the foundation upon which you can build a strong comeback. Evaluate your capacity to gather these forces. Find your weak spots, like your ability to read nonverbal cues. Find out if you speak too impulsively or take too long to think of a quick response. Are you aware of the lessons you can learn from your relevant experiences, or do you get distracted by memories that aren't related to them? Might you at any point change your rebounds to accommodate your genuine objectives and the general setting of your discussions? And do you follow your instincts? Give in graciously if the other party has no room to move. You must know when to fold. Before responding, make sure you understand the other person. Pulse people to identify them. When you pulse people, you check to see if they are open to your comments so that you can change what you say. Keep in mind that the person you pulse is also pulsing you. Check to see if they have understood you. If they seem to rely on labels and stereotypes, correct them. 10 questions to ask yourself to ensure that you never run out of words. Consider the following when selecting a great comeback. How much at stake do you have in this relationship? Respond in a manner that does not damage your coworker's ego or undermine the relationship if it is important to you. How much of the offense is deliberate? Many bad things are done without thinking. Pushy, impulsive, and occasionally rude, they say things. Don't waste your time responding to random insults. Did you give something? Do you have a part to play in the issue? People are quick to judge other people. Did you in any way cause someone to immediately dislike you? What message are you sending? Should you alter your strategy? Is your credibility, or something else that is important to you, at stake? If someone questions your future or your credibility, respond with a comeback that puts you in your element and keeps the relationship alive whenever possible. Did the person who was attacking you inflict sufficient harm on himself? People put themselves in a bad light when they try to make you look bad. It could make you look bad if you respond. In public, especially, it can be best to remain silent. Are you getting too involved in the response? It's possible to personalize the issue by using I or me. Don't talk about your feelings in your comeback. Instead, talk about your observations. Do your detractors know what to anticipate from you? Try not to be unsurprising. If you don't go overboard, doing or saying something unexpected can have a significant impact. What do you know from your gut? Watch the other individual's nonverbal communication for unobtrusive signs. If you respond with a smile, the other person might find you funny. If you are misunderstood by others, pause. Make use of a mirror to practice comebacks. Ask trusted friends what you mean if you are afraid of being unclear. Thank you for watching our video on comebacks at work with Kathleen Kelley Reardon and Christopher T. Noblet on the Success Face channel. We hope you found the discussion helpful and informative. Remember, it's important to be prepared for setbacks and to have strategies in place for bouncing back and achieving success. Thanks again for tuning in, and we look forward to bringing you more thought-provoking content in the future.